What's the number one thing that's holding people back from living the life they want? It's not stuckness, it's comfort. Now, most people live their entire lives in their comfort zone, silently resenting the few who are courageous enough to step into lives with more agency. Yes, there's being worried about what other people think of you, worrying about whether you can pay the bills, and worrying about whether you're a good role model for your kids. But I posit that the thing that's holding you back more than anything else is being tied to the mink-lined prison that is your comfort zone. Now, I know this because I've spent most of my life stuck in mine. I think of my comfort zone like a great big zorbing ball, a large, transparent, inflatable sphere. Now, I'm at the centre looking out with this artificial protective layer protecting me from the outside world. I can push on the outside toward the exterior, but seldom do I push through to the outside world indefinitely. To do that would be to burst the ball and evacuate everything that's inside, i.e. my identity. Now, even as I write this, I'm cognizant that I'm not doing something else that would have a greater impact on my business. I should be doing lead generation and putting myself out there, uncomfortably asking people on LinkedIn to set up calls so I can pitch my coaching services, but I'm not. Instead, I'm sitting in my comfort zone talking about being trapped in my comfort zone. Now, isn't that a vicious irony? Here's how it's shown up for me right now in my life. Our house costs too much money. So we live in this perpetual cycle of just making ends meet, much like most of the people most of the time. We don't really plan nice holidays or buy luxury goods because everything we earn goes back into the house. Now, I rationalize it like this. We may not have a particularly adventurous life, but we get to live in a nice house in a nice part of the country. And that should be enough, right? So, mindful of that, why don't we sell up, release some of the pressure and move somewhere cheaper and have a more comfortable life? Well, part of our thinking around that has been indulging in the idea of moving abroad recently. The south of France, Spain, somewhere else in Europe. Somewhere that allows us to have more financial freedom in our life. And of course, more adventure. It's something I've always felt I would do, but at 44, every day it becomes a little less likely. But I was inspired recently by a client who has made the move and talks passionately about waking up every day in predictable weather, eating fresh food and spending most of the year outdoors, and generally having a better quality of life than the UK. Theoretically, since we both work remotely, there's nothing stopping us from doing this. Clearly, having two young humans in tow makes decisions like this way more complex, but by no means impossible. People do it every day, right? So, will we ever do it? Well, probably not. You see, the enormity of change is too great and would take us so far out of our comfort zone that it will forever remain a pipe dream. I actually feel sad acknowledging this, but in truth, it's the reality. I've learned that there is comfort in familiarity, even if that familiarity is destructive. I stayed in a 7-year relationship 7 years too long because of what would happen if I pressed the eject button, and it damn near killed me. And this is the case for most people most of the time. You see, we accept mediocrity and the mundane because extraordinary challenges our very core beliefs. And yes, before you say it, I accept that too much spontaneity and novelty becomes normal. So I'm not suggesting that we live every day like it's our last. Simply that we push our comfort zone and we push the boundaries with more regularity so we can feel like we're truly alive. I'm inspired by those people I see who are out there living their lives to the fullest and following their dreams, throwing caution to the wind and taking risks and doing whatever feels right to them. I was watching a Chef's Table episode on Netflix last night about a guy called Jose Andreas, who espouses this very thing. He lives his life based on this mantra, that life is on the other side of your comfort zone. And he's now started over 40 restaurants. Every time there's a crisis in the world, he's on the front line giving out meals and really helping the world. And he truly believes that that is the life that he wants his children to see him living, to push his comfort zones, to be on the outside of it, to really experience the vitality of what it feels like to be alive. So life, learning, experience, whatever you want to call it, is always tantalizingly close to us. But because we tether ourselves to familiarity, it's always just one step out of reach. Our concern is that if we allow ourselves that freedom, we may float off into obscurity. Now think about it for a moment. What would happen if everybody suddenly woke up tomorrow and did exactly what they wanted to do? The economy would collapse, right? See, economies are built on the notion that most people, most of the time, are too scared to do what they actually want to do. So we work in these jobs that we really don't want to have. We find fulfillment in the mundane, purpose within the guardrails of established norms. So in that sense, isn't a salary just a bribe to give up on your dreams? Ultimately, those who recognise a comfort zone is being challenged and do it anyway are the ones who are truly living fulfilled. The rest of us are just sheep bleating away in a field waiting for the shepherd to point us where to go. I'm conscious as I speak about this. I'm skewed by my blinkered Western worldview and an unhelpful upward comparison that I hold. So I fully acknowledge A, the privileged position I'm in, and B, it's only because of the life of abundance I'm lucky enough to have that I'm even able to theorize about these things in the first place. Look, I know this is a heavy one today, and I'm sorry about that, but I really feel impassioned by this subject. And I feel like it's my duty in the world and as a coach to help people find a way to expand their comfort zone and live a life that they truly want to have without resentment and apathy and disillusionment. So I'm going to finish this with a little challenge for you. If you were guaranteed that your comfort zone bubble couldn't burst, what's one gentle push you'd put on the outside today? Thanks for listening. I hope this format works for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.